So anyhow, let's cook, shall we? Let me get my recipes out. I have all of my ingredients out, but because these recipes are, oh yeah, the monsoons were the best, Lori. I agree. So because these recipes are no cook, this is not a lot of preparation for this, right? So if you guys want to cook along with me, terrific. But if you just want to learn some new skills while I do this too, I'll talk a lot about, I'm going to talk about like how you chop things, how you present things, because when you're doing things like this, where all you're trying to do is make really simple ingredients taste their best, sometimes it's about like how you cut it, how you present it, that makes it extra special, right? I need to dismiss my email notifications coming in from J. Crew. Thanks, but no thanks today. So I have everything I need to make 3 delicious recipes. Let me just grab my packet of recipes over here, and let's decide where we want to start. First of all, are any of you kind of cooking along today, or are you just going to watch and take your own time? I'm just trying to decide what I want to start with. We could do the chopped salad first, selfishly, because I'm going to give it to Connor and Charlie for lunch. And then the summer corn salad caprese. And then why don't we finish, actually, this is a good idea. That's a great idea, Trisha. And then we'll finish with the watermelon salad with mint tomatoes and jicama, because that's all the sweet stuff that kind of runs on the cutting board. And it's, you don't want, it's like harder to clean up, right? With the tomatoes and the watermelon and everything else. It's just super ripe, juicy fruit. So let's do that. Let's start with the basic chopped salad. And then we're going to move on to the summer corn salad caprese. And then we'll do the watermelon salad. Sound good? Hi, Angie. Glad you're at least watching live with us. That's fantastic. Oh, good, Chrissy. You're doing the first thing with me. That's fantastic. So here's the first thing I want to talk about. Actually, I want to talk about what we're giving away today. And I talked about it in one of the other classes. But have you guys heard me talk about Crow Canyon dinnerware? Oh my God, you guys. These enamel plates, you know, they have them in solid colors too. And we photographed the recipes we're making today. We photographed them on the white dinnerware they have with the orange trim. It's very Traeger, but it comes in a ton of different patterns. And it's the handle on Instagram is Crow Canyon Home. But I have like 4 patterns laying around here. I have my U of A colors out today. Ooh, Michael, get all Marie Kondoed on us. That's fantastic. So we are giving away an entire set of this, which is like $200. You can choose the color, I think. You don't have to do the Traeger orange and white that I'll show you in the pictures online. So you'll get plates, bowls, a pitcher, cups. It is so cute, you guys. So like I said, if you want to go with something more mellow, they have all kinds of like whites with just different colored rims on them, navy, black, whatever you want. I loved the red and blue splatterware because I'm an Arizona Wildcat, so it's super cute, right? I have a pink and gray and light green splatter that's in the garage that I will. Hey, Connor! Well, when one of my kids comes up. When you take a break, I'm going to ask you to grab me something in the garage, okay, sweetie? Yeah, it's no rush. Thank you. I'll have him grab another one of the splatter patterns, but you can go on Crow Canyon Home, Google it too while we're doing this, and check out all their amazing patterns. And I think even though they said we're giving away a set, they'll be flexible in terms of what you want to get on there, okay? It's worth about $200 for a set. It's just so freaking cute. So it's great for picnics. It's great for eating outdoors. It's great for camping, but it's just great for looking cool, and it's dishwasher safe. So like, they're just lighter than regular plates, right? So if you want to eat indoors on these, but they're the perfect thing to do all of these, cooked meals on. And they're great for barbecue too. You have the same intercom system that I had. Hey, Connor. Yes, I absolutely do. Raise your hand if you guys were watching me on Instagram last night or this morning. I won't go into great detail about what we were talking about. I swore I wouldn't. But my family has been handling a situation with a critter in our house. And so it's hilarious because our house was added onto, so it's a very strange shape. So where my bedroom is, it's like almost like it's a U. I'm over here, and then you come here, and here's the kitchen, and then their rooms are down here. And so, so like if I'm yelling in my room, they can't hear me, and vice versa. It's just like whatever. We text each other. So this morning, I got up to see if the Chrissy, it's all good now. It's all good. If you guys didn't know, may it rest in peace. It has been taken care of. My son and Sonny's son took care of it. But I went in today after I checked to see what happened with the critter. I went into their rooms, and they were both just staying in there, hoping to God they wouldn't have to interact with an animal. So I screamed out at them all the time. But all is well in the world. I'm wearing flip-flops right now, so if something crawls on my foot, I'm going to faint. But I think we're in the clear, knock on wood, okay? It is no longer the year they're at. You know what I just realized, Michael? I am a rat. Oh my God, that is my sign. And rats are awesome. All of my friends born in the same year, we've got a lot of like similar tendencies, but the rat, oh, I should have taken it as a good luck thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Kirsten, I'm sorry for all of you. I couldn't stop posting about it. I was totally into it. So anyhow, let's get set to make the chopped salad, shall we? And I will start with the vinaigrette, but because what? A knockout? He's watching the boxing or whatever that's happening in Europe and England. Oh, now he can come because it like was over with a knockout. So I'm going to make this vinaigrette quickly because we've already gone through this, but it's shallots, red wine or sherry vinegar, Dijon mustard, olive oil. Honey, you know the splatterware? It's like pink and green and gray out there. Just bring in the pitcher or like one of the bowls. Thanks. I'm just trying to show them different ones. So let me get the ingredients for the vinaigrette really fast. It's going to be so fast. Let's put it in something, you know, I'm actually going to have to go purchase myself something tomorrow. I'm going to have to go get myself a smaller metal bowl or glass bowl for making vinaigrettes. I give things away a lot, I think. And when my ex-husband and I divided up our house, I kind of just gave him a lot of the kitchen stuff because I get things for free so often, right? But by the way, I'm going to show you guys the cutting board. But I find myself being short on certain things, and it's totally bizarre. So let's just get all of the ingredients together for the vinaigrette. And I put my shallot back here, I think. Didn't I? Didn't I? I fail. Oh, here it is. Okay, shallot. We're going to do like the same basic one I do all the time. I'm going to get my Dijon red wine vinegar. I'm going to get some good olive oil. My friends at Balistreri, which is an olive oil in winery, it's a ranch down the street from me. They are sold out at Diablo Foods, my favorite grocery, which makes me happy because people buy it. Thanks, Connor. Yeah. Congratulations. Did Patty win?
No, Patty's up in.
Oh, can you hand me that?
Oh, yeah.
Patty, what's his name?
Pimblet.
What?
Patty, his last name is Pimblet.
But what's the nickname?
Patty the Batty.
Patty the Batty, Patty Pimblet is up. Here's another, can you guys see the colors? It's pink and kind of like a greenish gray, which is totally cool, right? It looks like raw artwork, like raw splatter work. So yes, okay. Yeah, we do need names like that. Late signing on. Hi, KQ. What else? Loved your sugar roti introduction. Ordered a bunch. Shipped 10 minutes after placing order. That's what you get when you buy from people who do things themselves, right? Like they take such pride in what we're doing. You guys are welcome to name each other while I make the vinaigrette. How's that? You can come up with your own nicknames. Tilt that up a little bit. You know what I really need? I need a remote control camera. They probably have one to move my camera around, but it just, what I really need is a camera instead of using my laptop, right? So let's see, 3 tablespoons minced shallots, 3 tablespoons red wine or sherry vinegar. You got that. I'm just going to do this, like my Starbucks iced tea in the picture. We went down to the farmer's market today, you guys, and I walked down and my kids met me there. It's a couple miles to get there. And I got a green juice from this vendor I love. And then I bought some ingredients for this class and they went and got crepes. And then I had to go to the store for a couple of things. And then I said, I'm just going to go get a black iced tea from Starbucks. And it was one of those days where it took them 20 minutes to get me my black iced tea. By the time I got back in the car, my kids were so cranky. Bina is on here today. If the code is still valid, sugarroadtea.com. Yes, you enter Amanda New, and you still get a discount. I'm so glad you're on here today, Bina. You guys, she joined House of Haas. How sweet is that? Even though she's a friend, like, I really appreciate that. And yes, when you work with people like Bina and Dana, her partner, her business partner, who's amazing as well, you'll be blown away. But those spices were so good. And my kids came home and I've eaten practically the entire sheet pan of food because it's so flippin' delicious. That recipe that she showed us, you guys, was ridiculously easy to execute, as you saw, like 5 minutes to put together. And then, put that out of our way. 5 minutes to put together and then like 15 minutes to bake, because when you dice the chicken and the potatoes up that small, it makes it super easy. I was trying to still show my face, but you guys don't need to see my face. You need to see my knife. So hot. Oh yeah, Bina, you're in Manhattan. Wait, are you in Manhattan? And what farmer's market do you like to go to? What's the one? Is it Union Square? I always liked going there. Okay, we've got some shallot. I'm just going to run my knife through it slightly aggressively, friends. I am giving these knives away. This might be the next giveaway. I can't remember. My eyes are watering because I'm not cutting them next to a gas flame. Ay, caramba. One sec. Woo! Tears. Tears are real today. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do for the rest of the vinaigrette. We want those shallots to just soften up in there a little bit. I'm going to add a pinch of kosher salt. Okay, those shallots really down there in the vinegar. I think I'd probably use, this is probably 2 tablespoons of shallot. That's plenty for this recipe. Again, you can make it your own, right? So even if I call for something and then you don't like it, you can change it, okay? Favorite places to shop for shirts and dresses. Hold that thought. And I saw that Bina said Union Square Market. I love that. Yes, it's pretty fantastic, isn't it? Oops. Now that all of my drawers have been cleaned out because of our visitor, talk about Marie Kondoing. I've thrown out so much stuff. And you guys, you know how I had that garage sale? Was that 2 weeks ago? We sold so much stuff, but now I'm going to just, when I look at how much stuff I still have, I think I'm just going to sell it. I'm going to offer it all for one price. I made vinaigrette and I kept it in this bottle because I used the Dijon. That is so hilarious. You know what's funny is I probably don't have any Dijon left. Hold on. I'm going to show you something else then. Oh, I do. But this one makes a horrible sound. This one makes such a horrible sound. Hold on. I'd love to cut corners, not gonna lie. I'm trying to figure out how to make this work without. Let's do this. Watch this. There's not much mustard left in this, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of olive oil. And I'm gonna shake it. And I'm gonna put all of it in here, okay? So what else did I miss? So poor Bina, it's too hot in New York to do anything. You said you were going to stay inside for 3 days and watch TV, right? I hope you have been. Oh, Upper East Side. You know, I've never been to one up there. I'll have to do that the next time I'm there. What's the difference between kosher salt and flake salt? Okay. I love this question so much because I'm so obsessed with kosher salt for cooking. Kosher salt flake salt is usually harvested from the ocean, the water, I should say. And it is bigger, flakier grains that are perfect for finishing dishes. Like if you want salt to really be an ingredient and have some big flakes on something, say you have a grilled piece of fish or steak or even vegetables, and you're like, I want people to get that pop of salt. I finish with flake salt. So they're larger granules, right? Kosher salt is much finer, bigger than the iodized salt that you find, like with Morton's, but it's what most of us use for cooking and baking. So most recipes and a lot of cookbooks have started calling out kosher salt specifically because the salinity, basically how salty each type of salt is different, right? So the salinity in a Morton's iodized salt versus the salinity of kosher salt versus flake salt can vary dramatically versus like pink Himalayan salt. So what's become the norm in cooking very often is kosher salt, and specifically diamond kosher salt. It comes in a big red box. I just bought a ton more at Diablo Foods the other day and loaded up because they've been out of it at other markets for so long. So it's what I use all the time. Think about flake salt, those beautiful large flakes, as something you'd finish with. But even if you think about, like if you were to put that flake salt into a batter of some sort, like you would get these huge chunks of salt and they're not going to dissolve evenly. Plus, because they're so large, when you go to measure it, there's space in between the flakes, right? So it's not going to measure evenly. So that's the scoop there, okay? And then I never answered favorite place to shop for shirts and dresses. Swedish death cleaning. Let me just rinse my hands and let's whisk this vinaigrette while I talk about clothing. And get my compost out. Or my garbage can. Okay. Favorite places to shop. I shop, well, my friend Sherry McMullen, she has a shop called McMullen in Oakland, where if I want something nice, she's my absolute favorite place. Black-owned business. She's been written up in every major magazine about having the most amazing assortment of clothing. She dresses Aisha Curry. I became friends with her through Aisha, and she's just such an amazing entrepreneur and has such fabulous taste. I got these earrings there when it was during the pandemic, and I needed to start filming for Traeger at home. And so I got like an orange sweater and these earrings to try to look cool, and was trying to encourage people to buy local, right, to shop local. So McMullen is my treat place. And then for basics, I do J. Crew a ton. My friend, who I've known for 30 years, she has worked her way up the ladder there, and she was the CEO of Madewell. She's now overseeing Madewell and J. Crew. She's a badass, and I'm so proud of her. But like for basics, like they're just, I wear like J. Crew jeans, sneakers. I love the cashmere sweaters. I have a couple of those. There are check shirts, striped shirts, like it's my total uniform for cooking. And so I might actually do a giveaway with them as well because I live in those clothes. And then I got this at a place I never go, but I was in a bind the other day. I got it at Zara. I saw this super cute shirt in the window, and it's just hit or miss there. And there's so many pieces of clothing that it drives me crazy. And to be honest, you just can't get anybody to help you to save your life, right? It's their business model. I get it. They're not investing in employees, but it took me forever to I grabbed this, and then they announced their dressing rooms were closed for the day, which cracked me up. Who knows why? And then I grabbed this green linen dress that I might have worn. What did I wear it for the other night? Oh, for Venus class. And they were so inexpensive, and they're so perfect for this hot weather, right? So that was cool. And then I like Anthropologie. Again, very pricey, right? I'm just going to keep chopping ingredients, you guys, while we talk. And these are my chicken thighs that I grilled up. These are boneless, skinless chicken thighs that I put on the Traeger for 25, 30 minutes at 375. It's like impossible to mess up chicken thighs because they have enough fat to be totally forgiving. If you don't want to use any animal protein in this recipe, you just don't have to, okay? You can totally make it optional. I'm going to add nuts to this as well, and so there will be other sources of protein. And avocado, I think, too. So it's just going to be delicious with or without it. So yeah, I'm a pretty basic shopper, but I'm supporting J. Crew because I want them to survive. When they reorganized out of bankruptcy and promoted Libby to oversee it, I'm just like, I think that's so cool. And I want these long-standing brands to survive. But then I also really like smaller places too, you know? So there are a couple new boutiques where I live in the next town over there, darling. One's called Luck, and I can't remember the name of the next one, but they're adorable. So I balance. And I love Nordstrom. I just like how it feels when I go into Nordstrom. I can't do other department stores. I could do Bloomingdale's actually, but it just feels delightful when I go in there. Okay, shall we assemble a chopped salad, friends? Here's what we've got on the list. Here's what I said we've got. Hearts of romaine, roast chicken, cherry tomatoes, grapes or diced apple, crushed walnuts, toasted if you want, sliced green onions, avocado, blue cheese or goat cheese, or any cheese if you'd like, basil, salt, and pepper. I think that's where I end. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just prep these ingredients as we go, and I'm going to assemble them and make them look pretty on a platter. You can do that, or you can just throw it all into the bowl, toss it all up, and serve it like that. It's totally up to you, okay? So if you want this to just be like your main dish, it's kind of fun to put everything out in its own section on a plate or in a bowl, or not, right? If you're serving it family style, just toss it all together and it's delicious. The seasoning on the chicken, Lori, you know me, I normally do olive oil, salt, and pepper. I put Michelle Tam's grilling seasoning on it. So it's got like garlic, onion, salt, pepper. It's really well seasoned with kosher salt. And so I don't have to salt it. I think it might have oregano in it, but it's just a really simple grilling rub that I like. So that's what I did for that. Let's grab a bowl, a plate, I should say. This is humongous. I'll regret doing this, but I'm going to do it anyhow. And I'm going to show you one other trick I use, okay? And please don't, feel free to ask questions as I go. We're always talking about like pastry scrapers or bench scrapers, you guys. Like when you go to a restaurant and they use something like this to get rid of the crumbs. Well, guess what? Instead of using the side of your knife to transfer things, like I do, which is not smart, you can use something like this. They're just a couple of bucks to transfer whatever you've chopped, okay? It's a much smarter way to go than using the side of your knife, like I tend to show you. So do as I say, not as I do, right? The best kitchen tool. It totally is. I agree with you. So let me just rinse this board off. We're going to chop the other ingredients and bring it together. Sound good? This is a really easy one. They're all easy. That's the best part. You know what else would work really well for the chicken is just some rotisserie chicken. It would be so great to use. So there's another idea for you. Okay, I'm going to make space for this. Okay, come back here, green onions. Let's just do some green onions. Let's do the lettuce actually first and get this salad spinner out of my way. So you guys, I went to the market and bought romaine today, a head of romaine lettuce, and had Charlie wash it for me in the salad spinner. I hate it. I hate using the salad spinner. Or I actually just am the most impatient cook ever. So he did it for me. And I'm going to cut it into smaller pieces so it's easier to get on your fork, right? Because you know when it's torn in big pieces and it becomes kind of like a fork and knife salad? I would prefer for it to be more of a like fork salad only. So I'm going to cut these leaves. I'm going to stack them up and cut them crosswise. And it'll just be much easier to eat that way. And I'm just going to keep transferring them to the salad plate. I'm now addicted to the little gem lettuce. Oh my gosh, Lori, I am so addicted to little gem lettuce. I don't know if I tell you guys enough about Diablo Foods, which is a market here in the next town over in Lafayette, California, that is just the best market, family owned. And they always have little gems. I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing here, okay? See how I'm just going to like pile these ingredients up next to each other? Now, if you wanted, you could put lettuce on the entire bottom of it. I'm just going to treat it like one of the ingredients, okay? But they always have little gem lettuces, and I absolutely love them. So they're just like hearty enough, but they last. They're like little baby heads of romaine. They probably are, and then they just call them little gems. I'm just being totally lazy with how I sit in the kitchen when I talk to you guys. It's kind of fun. Let's just get my knife. And by the way, if anybody has questions, please keep asking them, and I'll get back to them if I don't see them right now, because I'm just trying to pay attention and chop for you all. We're gonna have lots of lettuce, obviously, if you want that to be a large part of it. If you don't, that's cool too. Let's just get a couple pieces. I like the lighter colored pieces with romaine when I'm doing a salad where it's only romaine. And see how this is so big? If you were to cut it in half and then crosswise, you still get really big pieces vertically. So I'm gonna cut these into like 3 pieces across. See what happens when you have a sharp knife? You can drag it through anything. If this knife was not this sharp, it would pull on the lettuce and you would have to tear it. Okay, let's do this. Let's just kind of put them all together so I can just run my knife through all of it. Let's move this out of your way too, so you can see this better. Sorry, I keep forgetting, like, there's not an overhead cameraman showing us what we're supposed to be doing at all times, which I love. I don't take it for granted when I work on sets. And they do all of that for you. And as the pieces get wider and wider, it's okay to like turn them and run your knife through them again. So I'm gonna just like turn all of these and just run my knife through them so they get smaller, okay? Cool? Yay. I think that's probably gonna be enough romaine because I have a bunch of other ingredients I wanna put on this. So I'm always thinking about color. And like, if I wanted to put all the green stuff together, great, but I don't. So I'm probably gonna put these green onions to the other side of the chicken. And then we've got, we want some cherry tomatoes. How cute are these? I got these at the farmer's market. I mean, they're so tiny. I love them. They're adorable. And then, and these are so cute that I'm probably just gonna pop them on whole. They're so tiny. Let me show you. They're like miniature dollhouse food. They even look large on there. They're smaller than they look, you guys. So I'm gonna probably just like sprinkle. These I might put on the lettuce actually, or some of them. I'm just gonna take the tops off and do this. Favorite knife sharpeners? To be honest with you, most of them, your knives need to be sharpened on a sharpening steel regularly instead of just a sharpener, because a sharpener takes away, it cuts away at the blade edge itself. So you're basically getting rid of part of the knife. Whereas when you use a sharpening steel, it realigns the teeth on the knife. Think of this as the edge of your knife, and then the more you use it, it goes like that, like that, and it needs braces, right? Using a steel makes it come back together. So when you use a sharpener, you're basically just like thinning out this entire blade. So I take mine to get professionally sharpened, honestly, and I try to use my sharpening steel. You know what, I need to pull mine out. You should be using it every time before you cook, just like swiping it a couple times on the sharpening steel. If you want a home one, who makes it? I'll have to go look mine up. I think Henkel's makes it. Krupp's? I can't even remember who makes mine. I do have one where it supposedly like puts it through a steel process, a sharpening steel process first, and it's electric, and then you can bring your knife through it. I found it works really well for serrated knives. I have not found it works great for regular flat-edged knives. You can't. You kind of like can't overuse your steel. But if they get to the point where you use your steel and nothing's happening, like they're not cutting better after you use it, you need to go get them professionally sharpened. It's usually about $6 to $12 a knife. If you take them to a hardware store or a grocery store where they hire someone to do it once a week kind of thing. Let's do green onions, guys. I'm just doing the white and light green parts of the green onions. So things to think about, right? Just silly things that I flood your brain with. Okay, so I'm gonna want these to kind of be thin enough so that you're not getting like huge bites of onion in your mouth. But you can do this however you want. So I'm cutting them with the edge of my knife, with the tip of my knife. I'm just I cut them in half, and then I cut them to make them even smaller. See that? And then I'm going to cut them on the bias like I like, because they look fancy that way, just at an angle, okay? You love your electric Kai brand. That's good to know. Great. So yeah, I'm gonna come in at an angle and cut these green onions and make them look fancy. So fancy. I look like such a grown-up with onions like this. And now this is something we're going to want to make sure gets mixed in with everything, right? Because no one wants like a huge chunk of onion. So let me think about where I want to put those on my plate before I actually do it. It's a lot of green onion. Connor, you're going to love this salad. My kids are totally onto. Oh, see how I'm picking it up with my knife? But if you want to be safer, just move it over like that, right? I'll save these tops for something else. Let's get avocado. Let's get an apple. Let's see what else I want to add to this. Oh, I have bigger cherry. Oh, I add basil as well. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do for the apple. I'm going to dice it because I'm also going for different shapes in this, right? So here's what I've got so far. We're just building around, and I'm going to rinse these. And again, like, do what you like. I like grapes in salads, so I would have grapes, just take whole grapes, cut them in half. I'm going to put these green onions right here because they're making me cry. So let's get them out of the way. But you can do any kind of apple you like. You could do pear. I love Asian pears in salads. Yes, you can make new ones. I love doing that with the green onions. My friend Michelle Tam does that all the time, and it makes me smile. So I'm going for different looks of texture and different cuts of things just to give the eye something fun to look at. So for the apple, I'm going to dice it. I'm just cutting around the core to give myself kind of like these even pieces to dice. Okay. And we're going to go, again, I'm looking for kind of like these bite-sized pieces, not so big that people can't put them in their mouth. So I'm just cutting across. And again, this is a salad that's so fun because you could prep most of this early in the day. Like you could do all of these ingredients except I would wait to do the apples because they'll turn color on you. I would wait to put the avocado on if you're using avocado because that'll turn, right? But you could assemble all of the other ingredients before you want to eat it. Or if you're chopping and prepping for a different recipe and you want to just chop some extra stuff so that you can reach in and make a salad like this anytime during the week. That's my favorite thing to do. And as we get ready for me to launch my new course, we're going to be talking a lot about efficient ways to use ingredients throughout the week. So if you buy, say, like a whole head of asparagus, you only need half of it for a recipe, or a whole bunch, I should say. What do you do, right? So I'm going to help you with that stuff. Or if you grilled a bunch of chicken like I did. I happened to eat one piece before we started, but how else could we use that? Would we want to make a grilled chicken salad, let's say, Okay. So this apple might turn a little bit before I serve it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little bit of acid on it, and I'm going to just drizzle a little vinaigrette on it right now. It probably won't change in color too much, but it's just something to think about. So let's do it. I'll bring it in the picture so you can see how it's going, right? How it's going. Let me get the vinaigrette and just drizzle a little bit of it over the apples. And then I'll just kind of like, oops, lovely attack from the apple. Just kind of toss it like that, right? So you get a little bit of that vinegar on there. It won't make a huge difference, but it's just like a thoughtful little thing, right? Got some runaway apple. Okay, now we've got walnuts. We've got feta. I'm going to do feta on this one because it sounded good to me. And then we've got avocado. I bought this fresh Mediterranean style feta in brine. This is my kind of cheese. So I love it when it's still in liquid, in the brine, because it keeps it from drying out so quickly, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna break it up, and then I'm gonna crumble it with my hands. So you can determine how big you want the pieces to be, right? You know what else would be delicious in this is you could do sliced olives, or you could just pick some really beautiful little Mediterranean olives, like little black olives, green olives, and sprinkle them on. But I'm just going for all kinds of textures and flavors. So we're gonna have the crunch of the nuts, we're gonna have the saltiness of the cheese, the tasty chicken, the crunch of the apple, the tang of the onions, and it's gonna be delightful, and some creamy avocado. Okay, let's put that away. Now, should we vote to toast the walnuts or just put them on raw? I'll talk to you about toasting the walnuts. How's that? I'm not gonna put a ton in because my kids don't like them as much as I do. You love how I cut that apple. Yeah, isn't it funny how we do things differently? And then you learn like the silliest things from people. I always find it so interesting. Okay, you want to learn how to toast nuts, KQ? I see you. I'll do it. I'm just going to do them on the stove though, okay? Because a really consistent way to do it is in the oven because they'll all bake evenly at the exact same temperature, right? But when you're working with the stove, you've got to be really careful because they can burn quickly. So I'm just going to have a couple of bites first. And I'm going to do these, and then I'll do the avocado, and then I'll dress this, and I'll show us a pretty picture of it, and then I'll toss it so everybody can enjoy it. Sound good? Okay. And this one definitely takes the longest, so I'm not worried about time, as long as you aren't. I have a pan. Let me just rinse this out. What is that? I think I was the last one to use the pan, and that it's just olive oil, but just in case. Oh, you know what? I also bought these adorable little baby cucumbers. So while I wait for my pan to get hot for a minute, I'm going to just dice these. Let's do this. Can you see me? I'm going to just like kind of quarter them the long way, and then boom, 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 boom. So again, you're getting a variation of shape, color, texture. I heard that cucumbers give you energy. I just heard that the other day from a thing that like when you're tired in the afternoon, instead of going for coffee or tea, drink like a cucumber juice with other, you can make, put other things in it. And it's supposed to help. This is such a good knife. I can just go straight down like that. It's amazing. It's not typical. Thank you. Zwilling. I still want to call them Henkels. They changed the name because they had different brands of Henkels, and so they wanted to be able to discriminate between the Henkels line and then the higher end line, which is the Zwilling. But I always knew them as Henkels when I worked at Winston-Emma when I was like 22. I need to send you some more nuts. Oh, Lord, they're so delicious. I like the nuts you make on Instagram with turmeric and other spices. Oh, those are the best with the maple syrup. That's like a total go-to. Can you guys see this? I'm just putting a little bit of oil in the pan. It helps brown the nuts. Most importantly, though, you guys, you just want to keep stirring them. I'm going to add a little salt to them, too, because I can. These are already chopped, which is nice. So let me just give them a stir. Can you see? And a little sprinkling of that kosher salt, which is right here. And you just want them to be fragrant, so they'll start to smell, for lack of a better word, nuttier. And let's put them inside. With nuts that are lighter in color, it's easier to tell when they're done, like pine nuts. Yes, you absolutely could add other spices. Bina, how good would your spices be on these? You could take these a million ways. Like if you wanted to do something sweet, right? If you were serving these like with something sweet or on top of a dessert. You could toast some with like a little bit of cinnamon and warm spices and then sprinkle sugar on them at the last minute. The ginger, cumin, turmeric combination sounds amazing. Don't forget the black pepper. And yeah, you can do whatever you'd like. Okay, let's do avocado. And then let's just call this salad a salad, shall we? But hopefully you can see how much can be left up for interpretation, right? This is just everything that I like in mine. Think about, like, if you like citrus, you could put slices of, orange in here. You could add different meats. I do salmon on salads a lot. You could do skirt steak. Like I said, if you want it to be vegetarian. Okay, this is something I do. I'm not going to say it's always a good idea because you don't want to poke yourself with a knife in your hand. But I learned how to do it, to slice. And I think instead of serving it as long pieces, again, I'm going to go for the dice. Hey, Connor, are you hungry? Con? Either he has his headphones in or he fell asleep, which is like all of our new favorite hobby. Okay, what do you think is going to bug me about this picture right now? I'm going to have green next to green. Let's call it yellow though, right? And then when we toss it, I'll forgive myself. That is like the perfect looking avocado. That looks like a freaking picture. I'm going to use a spoon to scoop this out, okay? It's a little bit, it's not quite ripe enough, but can move the walnuts over. Or yeah, your great tip to always have black pepper when using turmeric. Yep, exactly. Mix my spices with olive oil and then mix with more olive oil. For salad dressing, what a great idea. That's a great idea. You guys are pros. I'll do the rest of the avocado because I know that the kid's coming back. Our friend Nick, who's become my other kind of like surrogate child this summer because he loves food so much. You see how I did that? So I didn't get close to it. Oops, it didn't work. Hold on. Keep your other hand away. It's because this avocado is not super ripe. But you could throw the knife into it like that, like with your other hand out of the way. And then you just twist the seed out. And then over a garbage can, you hit that part of the knife, boom, and it makes the seed fall off. Ta-da! Okay, I'm going to cut through this again. This is much smarter to do with the paring knife, by the way, if you were going to try this at home. But again, this is not something I would recommend unless you are really comfortable with the knife. Let's get that avocado out of the way. Okay, but this stay, what a salad. Oh, and I'll put a little bit of basil over it because I do think the basil will add a ton of flavor. Let me break up this avocado. Isn't it funny, like the class that I think is like the easiest will actually, I'll have the most to do because we can just chat and I'll do it. I do it in real time. So instead of cooking ahead and trying to cut corners. Okay, so you know how we were just talking about types of salt? Oh, shoot, I put my Malden flake salt away, but here's an example. It would be so delicious on the avocado because the avocado is so mild. I'm still going to just put a little bit of salt on the avocado itself because there's nothing like getting avocado that feels like it kind of doesn't have any flavor. It just needs to be brought out. It just needs to be coaxed. I'm going to make this for dinner tonight. Fantastic. Okay, so what else did I want? Basil. Just sheeping on some basil, friends. And then we will eat it. Let's try it. I'm just going to get a couple of leaves. Oh, it smells so good. There's nothing like fresh basil. And I did this in Bina's class the other night too with sugar roti. I'm just stacking the basil leaves, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll them up. So what you have to think about is when I'm going to slice these crosswise, that's how long the strips are going to be. So if you don't want them to be that length, once I do my little trick, you can just cut halfway through and they'll be half as long, okay? But I'm going to roll them up like a little cigarette. I use Himalayan pink salt, Lori, for a couple things. A lot of people use it as like a healthy ingredient too, to dissolve it in liquids for things. Excuse me, I just choked. I'll use it as a finishing salt as well. Excuse me. Can you guys see? It's hard to see on the black cutting board. Walnut alert. Okay, so I have these beautiful, these beautiful little piles of basil, right? That have been rolled up and cut through. I'm gonna cut through them this direction just to make them shorter. Steady, steady. Excuse me. And then look, ooh, so beautiful, right? Okay, let me take these. Oh my gosh, you guys, this salad. This is why I order salads when I go out, because if I'm chopping a lot of other things, like I said, just chop more. And for the things that last, cut in the refrigerator, like the green onions. You could even do the apple and toss some lemon juice on them. Any chicken that you have left over, you can cut lettuce in advance. It's absolutely the kind of thing where like just make extra. And then you can make a great salad like this in a matter of minutes, especially if you have the vinaigrette laying around like I'm always telling you to make extra, right? So here it is. Why don't I drizzle some of this vinaigrette over it? I didn't even really taste my vinaigrette. Let's make sure we like it. Really good. Drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. You want to really make sure you get all the ingredients coated, right? We can always add more, but it's hard to take away. You know what's so fun about teaching from my computer? I can take a picture of this now for Instagram and show everyone what they're missing. I mean. Hold on, let's take a picture of it, shall we? It looks amazing. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like on here too, because it's so vibrant, for lack of a better word. Let's do that. Oh, you guys, this is just gorgeous. Connor, there's a salad ready. He has his headphones on, you guys, watching the other fights. Okay, let me show you the picture. Isn't that gorgeous? Aren't we fancy? Okay, so there it is. And now I'll toss it. Let's get some tongs and be really gentle with it. When I'm doing bowls, salads in a bowl, I always use my hands to toss it because it's the only way to make sure that the leaves are like really well coated without adding too much vinaigrette, because you never want to see vinaigrette at the bottom of a bowl. That means you've overdressed your salad. So the leaves should be shiny, but they should never be. Actually, I'm going to go for it. It's the best way to do it, you guys, I promise. Oh my goodness gracious. Me oh my. And then, oh, wow. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about this salad. Look at this. I would be so excited if somebody made me this because it's so nutritious, but so delicious. Let's do that. Shall we? I'm just going to try a bite. And then I'll tell my child if he can hear me because he's listening to the fights in his room with his headphones on, I think. Let's just try to get a bite. See how it's easy to grab so many things? If you guys wanted to use that apple cider vinaigrette that we did in the first class, that'd be delicious. You could always add a little bit of honey to the vinaigrette. Winner. Chicken dinner. I can resist. Outstanding, you guys. I'd make this a million times. I'm not kidding. I might have to put this in my new book, which if you guys didn't hear me say, it's finally in contract. So if I hustle my bustle, it'll be out a year from this fall, which means I need to have it written and photographed by Thanksgiving. Okay. Hey, Connor! I'll stop screaming in your ears, you guys. Anybody need to take a break since I took an hour to make that salad chopping things? Obviously, if you're one, not distracted by someone talking to you the entire time you're making this, or two, you're just doing these little segments as you're cooking other things, it comes together really quickly, right? Or assign the tasks out. Like Charlie today, he was like, well, what do you need me to do before I can leave to go to the gym? I'm like, wash the salad for me. I could have had him make the vinaigrette, right? Or you make one batch of vinaigrette for the week and boom. So there you have it. How about if you guys need to refresh your drinks, do anything like that, let's take like a 3 to 5 minute break. Oh, Kasha's saying you just received my Vibrant Life cookbook. Thank you. Can you all tell me? Share their favorite recipe. Oh, that's so sweet. It's a big salad for summer meal. Yeah, all of those things. All of those things. Okay, I'm going to clean up my mess. Why don't we do the corn salad next? Like I said, it is so simple because Connor literally said to me, you're charging for these classes and you're using store-bought pesto. I was like, dude, they're going to understand what I'm talking about. You can make it fresh. I have recipes for fresh pesto on my website. That's not the point of this recipe. But I was like, you little turkey. He said that at the grocery store today. Like, I can't believe you're buying this. The quinoa salad is delicious. You know what? People love that dang quinoa salad, and I'm so over it because I've made it a million times, Lori. That's so funny you mentioned that one. It's a favorite for sure of my people. Okay. I don't know if many of you have seen her yet. Caitlin Charlton, my new culinary assistant. Connor's screaming at the fights. She is catering this weekend, and so our schedules haven't worked for her to come over for most of these classes. Did he win?
Go, Patty!
Check out this salad. Hold on, I gotta show Connor the salad. Did he win in a knockout?
Submission.
Here you go. Would you like a salad? There's a plate. Yeah, but just check out the salad. See, it's obvious. Enjoy it. My son is so excited about this darn boxing. Oh, that sweet potato hash. Chrissy, that's going to go up on my website too. If you guys go to amandahaascooks.com, we just put up like 6 new recipes. So all from my books. And so you can get some of my favorite ones on there too. There's a Thai red curry that just posted that is Sunny's favorite recipe, my friend Sunny. There are so many to choose from. I kind of forget what I make sometimes. Okay, we are doing
Thank you, Mom.
corn. You're
Can you
welcome.
use a fork or can I use this
You
one?
can use that one.
Okay.
It was your mother's. You don't have to worry about it. I think I might actually toast some pine nuts for this one. And I want to talk to you about a hack, but I'm not going to do it because I don't have the right bowl for it. But I filmed it as a hack for my hack segments that I'm launching, which is going to be super fun. Let me get these out of the way. That. We're just going to put everything in a big pile except for what I need. Okay, and then let me think about, excuse me as I move my compost garbage section over so I can shuck my corn. And then I need pine nuts, which I'm happy to toast. We'll toast those right off the bat, actually, okay? I need a sip of my iced tea and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Yes, Ruth Athena's still on here, co-founder and inventor of Sugar Roti. I think she said they have 15 different combinations, all thoughtfully prepared from her grandmother's cooking that her mom taught her. And how nuanced they are between each recipe. It's pretty remarkable. I learned a ton. Like for the fish one, I think she said they use fenugreek as the lead ingredient. There are just so many amazing things, and I do not know about all of the spice components in Indian cooking. So it's so nice to have them do the work for us, right? Okay, let's make a corn salad. I am going to chuck it right now at Diablo Foods, again, my favorite grocer. They do this so you can actually see what it looks like inside, which is so clever, right? They take the time to do that for us. Do you know how hard I'm going to scrub this kitchen tonight? To make sure that there are no more little friends in here. It's going to be crazy. Normally, if there are any little husks left, you guys, I'll just like twist this way and it gets them off. And then I kind of make a mess, or do it over the sink is kind of your best action. But not today. Your order. I'm so glad everybody's ordering the spices. This makes me, this warms my heart. This is why it pays to, first of all, it pays to be kind and nice and to say yes to meeting new people. And so anytime someone calls me and says, hey, I've got a friend who's starting a business, blah, 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 will you talk to them? 99 times out of 100, I'm so glad I did. And Bina's one of those examples. Even though I completely 1000% spaced our first 2 calls. It was during COVID and I was like, my kids were homeschooling and I got to the point where there was never anything on my calendar. And so if I went somewhere, it was like a big deal. And I forgot both times Bina. I was so horrified. And when I finally got to talk to her and her business partner, I was just in love with what they're doing. Same thing happened with Foodie. My friends who started the online idea of getting all of these recipes in one place, kind of like iTunes. So amazing. So yes, always say yes to meeting new people. In fact, I met someone like that this week, and I need to reach out to her and say, will you be an advisor? Will you give me some advice unsolicited? I really just was like, this woman has been so magnificent in the business world, and it's just so bizarre how I met her. And I want some advice on like if I should ever raise money. I did not. I just what do we call this? Bootstrapping it. I pay as I go to run my business. I just pay for it, right? But I've never been like pro raising money. And I have thoughts on how men think about raising money versus women, honestly. And I've gotten a ton of advice from men, but I want to talk to women. And this woman, actually, Bina and Dana, I know where you stand on this kind of, but I should talk to you guys more about this too. But I think women kind of approach borrowing money from other people differently, right? And so this is a woman who invests money. And I was like, why? I want to ask her, why would I want to take money from someone, right? I'm cutting these in half because I don't get to show you my favorite hack. And I'm squirting corn all over. You can use a knife, but I like to struggle. Here is my favorite hack. Pretend all of this is in a big bowl, okay? In a bowl like so, okay? Then you take a smaller bowl, like a plastic bowl, and you invert it. So there's a little bowl with a flat top here. I'm going to demonstrate, even though I'm not going to demonstrate. Right? But you want it to be smaller. Then what happens, you put your corn up here and you cut. So the corn just goes down into the bowl, and so do all of the juices. What do you think of it?
It's good.
Good. It's just good. It's not great.
Wonderful.
What?
It's wonderful.
Oh, he's going back for seconds, folks. So when you do that, and when you cut into the bowl like that, you don't have you get to capture basically all of they call it the milk of the corn. And so you get all that flavor, right? But I don't have that today. So let's just, again, one more thing I need to buy at the store. Charlotte's Hub has an amazing assortment of like bowls. I think I'll go there. All of my friends from Williams-Sonoma, the band kind of broke up a couple years ago. So some people stayed at Williams-Sonoma, but then people went to Bed Bath & Beyond, Crate and Barrel, and Sur La Table. It's hilarious. They all like have bigger jobs at other brands. And so I try to support all of them, all the brands. So you'll see that I'm like losing milk and juices from the corn as I do this. But if I was doing my little hack, you wouldn't. Now let's talk about corn. Shall we, Connor? You can grill your corn. You can char it over a really high heat if you want, either on your grill or on the cooktop in a grill pan. I like raw corn kernels like this. When you have fresh, delicious corn, I like it like this. So I don't even bother doing that. I like to char it if I'm doing something with it, like making like a corn salsa where you've got spice and you want like more smoky flavor. I'll do that. You could boil these, by the way, too, and make corn stock. I should probably do that. But for this salad, I really want to taste the basil. I want to taste the corn. I want to taste the fresh cherry tomatoes. I want to taste all the ingredients as they are. Kind of like naked corn salad. What else? Any other questions that I've missed, you guys? I don't think I have, but you can ask. You made a corn stock a couple of times. So good, right? Okay. All right. I'll stand up for this. Sorry, guys. I just want you to be able to see it, right? But again, if I were cutting this into a bowl, and the object of course, having a larger, small bowl raised up is that you're not having to cut down into it. You don't worry about your knife hitting that bowl, right? So it's just up here going around. It's actually a brilliant little hack. And I'm doing a ton of this because my kids love this corn salad more than me. Okay. This is always a popular thing in my house. And as is corn on the cob, right? Like if you've ever had just fresh corn and you grill it or boil it for a couple of minutes, boom, butter, salt. I also love Mexican street corn. Bring on the mayo, the cotija. A couple more at the top there. I've got a lot of corn here. Connor, you're going to be happy. You're going to have this corn salad to go with your ribs. So you guys, I'm smoking ribs for him for his birthday meal. His birthday was over a week ago, but we just haven't been together to enjoy his favorite food. So tonight I'm making his favorite mac and cheese. I'm making ribs on the grill right now. And then I'm going to have these 3 other recipes. Can you throw corn cobs into veggie broth scraps? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can. Okay, another half piece each. I'm going to crack up if I run out of time on my easy salads class. It's just fun to chat with you guys and hang out too, right? So yeah, we're going to have so much food tonight. And then he even said, you don't have to make all this stuff tonight. Like I was going to make him a cheesecake. I'm going to do that tomorrow. It's out of control. And I want to relax tonight. I want to watch a movie or a show like I did last night. I watched The Gray Man, the new movie on Netflix, which I know some of you have already watched, with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans as kind of a bad guy. I would use the corn stock for soups. Ooh, yummy. That's a great idea. Yes, the sweetness of the corn for soup would be amazing. Anything that you like the flavor of corn for, I'd use it for risotto. If you wanted to do a fresh corn risotto with basil and a lot of the flavor components I'm doing today, you could use corn stock as the liquid. Let's get that one last piece. I've got enough corn to feed a village. I'm just gonna clean as I go here, guys. Let's just wipe this down some more. Hi, I'm teaching, but you're welcome to make sounds. And I have a yummy salad here. Hi, Charlie. Oh, how's it going? Good. Good. You guys get jamba? And chipotle. Wow. So he doesn't need my salad. Whatever. Okay. I have fresh mozzarella, you guys. We love fresh mozzarella. I love it on pizza, but I got the little tiny ones, and I'm just going to cut them, and I'm going to put them in here. And then I'm going to show you one of the funniest hacks of all time. All time might be an exaggeration. But let's just cut these into tiny pieces to eat. You want them to be kind of similar in size again with what you're doing because you want it to be easy to eat. Hi, honey. What are you looking for? Oh, yeah. There you go. Let's do a few more of these. I'm going to use all of these because I cut so much corn. Okay. Corn panna cotta. Oh my God, I've had corn meringue. Oh, you guys, at this place in New York. Bina, what is the name of this restaurant? It's not Midtown. I think it's like 20th Street maybe. Holy cow, it's Mexican food like Thomas Keller style. They have duck carnitas. They have this corn husk dessert with corn meringue with like a corn creme fraiche in the middle, and it is so flippin' delicious. It's one of my favorite desserts ever, and I cannot believe I can't remember the name of the restaurant. I go every time. I'm in New York, and it's been way too long. And I don't care if it goes out of style. It is just, I mean, it's not out of style. There's no way. I hope it's still open. You ever put the corn on the center hole of a bundt pan, cut down, and the kernels and juice collect in the pan? No, that's a great hack too. You could totally do that. It's a great idea. So the bowl trick I just showed you guys, or what Michael's saying, is a great idea. Let's toast some pine nuts. Where are my kitchen scissors? There they are. Get rid of that mess. Clean as I go, or throw as I go. I'm just going to toast some of these pine nuts. Now, these are so sensitive. I would totally recommend baking them instead at like 300, 325. La Calenda? No. It's a chef. The chef who did Pujol. Oh, this is how to look it up. The chef of Pujol in Mexico City opened this restaurant in Manhattan. Does it start with a C? It's not La Calenda, it's just one word. I don't know, but it's so flippin' delicious. I can't even handle it, you guys. All right. Oil. I love this, like, cooking from a chair. Does that help you see that? Not really. None of it helps, right? I'll think of the name of this place.
Do we have ibuprofen?
Huh? We do. It's either, here, let me look. I think it might be in my bathroom closet.
No.
On the counter. Let's see if I can hear these kind of sizzling at all, and we'll know that the pan is hot enough. These are going to come together so quickly, you guys. Again, I like a sprinkling of salt. If I toast them in the oven, by the way, I don't use oil. I just think they brown really nicely on the stove with a little bit of oil. Pine nuts can burn literally in a matter of a second or two. So I'm going to pay attention to them. And if you leave them on one side, then you don't keep stirring, they burn on one side, and then they look like they have a sunburn. We don't want that either, do we? Did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay. They're getting there. The pan wasn't as hot as I thought it was. Just wait, that salad looks so boring right now, but when we add the tomatoes and some basil, it's gonna be beautiful. Oh, those little guys didn't get added in. Now they're sizzling. They're gonna turn really quickly here. They sound happy. They smell amazing. They're just getting really fragrant. That's what I want. Everything just tastes more intensified when you toast it. Mmm. Yep. Yep. That's enough for me. They'll literally like keep burning unless you get them out of the pan immediately. I cut the heat. So these are just like lightly toasted. I'll show them to you up close. Can you see how there's barely some color on these? It's just going to add, some are a little bit darker, the smaller ones. It's just going to add a really nice hit of pine nut flavor, extra flavor. Okay, we have some basil pesto. Yes, store-bought. Oh my gosh, the shame. I don't have a ton of it, that's okay. I'm just gonna add more olive oil and more fresh basil, and it's gonna be delicious. So let's start by thinning it out with some good olive oil. Oh my gosh, that sweet corn ice cream, she's amazing. Jenny makes amazing ice cream. Cosme, thank you. Michael, thanks for, did you look that up? Cosme, you guys, is such a winner. It's totally it. Oh my God, it's just so delicious. The duck carnitas stuff, every like ahi rare or fish they do, like raw fish presentation is insane. Cosme, they're, I know I'm on the wagon, but their drinks, their cocktails are insane. Best margaritas, best palomas, just like the simplest things. And they're outstanding. Okay. I'm going to obviously thin it out some more, or add some more olive oil, because this isn't much at all. You could add a ton more pesto to yours if you have it, okay? I haven't been to Pujol in Mexico City yet, but I would like to. I've been to Mexico City to eat, and I have to say, it was probably the best food city I've ever been in. My friend Cyril isn't on these. He's a like master chef. And he has been a chef at the Four Seasons for like 30 years, and now he's a private chef for a very important person in Austin, Texas. But I think he and I agree, Mexico City is the best place for food ever. Okay, let's add the pine nuts if they're cool. I'm gonna let them cool a little bit more because I don't want them to melt the cheese, right? Now let me show you my tomato hack that I'm super excited about. And any other questions? You're a Googleologist. That's funny. Okay, you guys, this is my favorite little thing. I don't know if I showed you this in any of my last classes. Maybe I did. But I'm taking cherry tomatoes that are similar in size. That's why I bought these, to show you. But instead of having all of them, I don't even have the perfect knife for this, but I just think it's the funniest little trick. So, where's the knife I want to use for this? Maybe I'll just have to use this knife. Here's what you do. You take a plastic container lid, you gather them all up. Not all of them at once, but like a handful, right? You put a bunch of them under the lid and you hold the lid down to stabilize it. Can you see what I'm going to do here, you guys? I'm going to cut through the middle, the center of these tomatoes, and they're all going to get cut at once. Did it take me longer to assemble the tomatoes than it would to cut them individually? Probably. Do we care? No, because this is such a ridiculously fun little hack. Gotta make sure your palm is not in the way. Ta-da! Isn't that just magical? Magical? If you have a small serrated knife, that's what makes it magical, okay? I did not have the right knife, but it's still a super fun trick. My granddaughter thought I was a magical unicorn when I showed her that. Oh, awesome. It is like herding cats. It absolutely is. Corn milk for Tres Leches. Quattro. This hack changed my life. Lauren, when did I show it to you guys? I can't even remember if I did it here in class or on Instagram, but I filmed it for a hack too. I haven't posted my hacks yet because we need cuter introductions to them. I should have had my makeup done and looked more professional, but I didn't think that far ahead. So we'll do it one day. Was it last week? Oh, wait. Oh my gosh, you know what's so funny, you guys? What was last week's class? I've already forgotten. What did we do last Thursday night, a week ago? It wasn't sheet pan. It wasn't, oh, it's burgers. Burgers. Yes, that's what it was. That's hilarious. Thanks for the reminder. Okay, let's add a little more fresh basil. I'm going to chiffonade it again. So I'm just going to cut it into those thin strips again. Has anybody made those turkey or chicken burgers since I did? I got to say, those were the best version I've ever made. The ones I made for you all to show you, holy cow, they were good. They were so good. Oh my God, this basil smells so incredible. I wish you could smell it. It is such a game changer. It just smells like summer. Chiffonade, fancy word. Silly term. Okay. Charlie, can you smell the ribs smoking? Yeah. Maybe I'll have you check the pellets. They should be fine. Okay. All right. And the pine nuts, you guys. Look at how much color. Oh, gorgeous. Let's just put them all in there, shall we? Oops. A couple to stock. I'll snack on those later. And that's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This would be so cute on the dinnerware that that you can win in today's class from Crow Canyon. We shot it, we photographed it on their white dinnerware with the orange rim, and it was so cute. Okay, so obviously if you have more pesto, it will look a lot more pesto-y. Is there a way to know when your IG lives are? Tasha, funny you should ask. People always ask me that. No, because they're totally spontaneous. A lot of times I go on before I'm doing something for House of Haas just to be like, here's what I'm going to do. But they tend to just be like in the middle of me making a meal or right before I make a meal, or if I'm prepping for something, and they're just my version of messing around. So I haven't scheduled them. I don't want to give away too much on Instagram when you guys are nice enough to be here always. So they just tend to be my loose mess around sessions. I might start doing 1 or 2 a week at a set time because it's totally annoying. I know it's totally annoying to have that. So maybe I'll start doing like a Monday or Tuesday night segment while I'm making dinner. Oh, Laura, you do? I haven't never figured out how to use that. I'm going to test this. This is my little salt caper from Morocco. You guys, I've never done that. What do? Do you press on when you follow me, if you go to my page, do you press on my face, or like, how do you do that? I haven't done that for anybody. It doesn't appear that you stalked me, Lori. I just assumed that when people get on there a lot, that they, I'm sure I can figure it out in notifications how to do that. When people get on my Instagram a lot, I just assume that they're not following tons of people, and so it's easy to tell when someone's going live, right? But you're not stalking me, my friend. You're not stalking me. In fact, you're one of the first people who became like a real friend through Instagram. By real, I mean someone who I just love interacting with. Okay, this is flippin' delicious. Question, in your new ceviche, could you use raw shrimp? Absolutely. I need a bite with the fresh mozzarella. Chrissy, since I didn't have enough pesto, I just added a drizzle of olive oil just to kind of like give it some more flavor. I would probably add a bunch more freshly chopped basil too to add more of the pesto flavor since I was short on it. I will also add more cherry tomatoes, but I just wanted you guys to get the gist. Oh my God, this is so good. And I would totally add more pesto. But if you like pesto, and like I said, don't listen to my child. It's totally okay to buy prepared pesto. Just buy one that's just very simple ingredients. Like you should see a nut of some kind. If it's not pine nuts, sometimes they'll do cashews, basil, olive oil, Parmesan cheese, or Parmigiano Reggiano. They're all great. Let's just take another picture too. Make people jealous of what we're doing. Don't you agree? I'm going to show you guys how beautiful this salad looks. Portrait mode is so cool, but it makes you move so far back before you can crop in, right? Let me show you. Ooh, Nelly. Yummy. I'd want to join House of Haas if I saw that. That is just spectacular. You guys, yay. One more down. Connor, Charlie, corn salad. You might want more salt, Charlie, because I know how you like your salt, my friend. Okay. Last but not least, it is 2:24. We have so much time. Any questions about that one before I move on? Yes, no, maybe so. I'm gonna just completely riff on this last recipe. Don't you like that I didn't even look at the recipe for the corn salad? 6 ears of corn, a half to 2/3 cup of prepared pesto. I maybe had like a third of a cup there. 1 cup half cherry tomatoes, you can use more. Cup diced fresh mozzarella, half cup toasted pine nuts, fresh basil. So yeah, if you had more pesto, you don't need to use that much basil. Oh, I'm so happy to see Costco makes a good pesto. Yeah, you know what? So many, we can talk olive oil too. So many companies white label things like that, like Trader Joe's and Costco. So a lot of companies I know who do business with like higher end companies also white label for Costco and Trader Joe's. So they don't put their name on it because people are going to pay so much less for the same product. But I'm sure you're right, KQ. Affordable olive oil. How do I choose? I choose by looking for a couple things. I look for, I need my glasses to show you guys. There's this, if you live in California, no, if you live in the United States, there was a book about olive oil not being olive oil, and it started with this thing in Italy, you guys. It's not worth going into. But what happened is to prove in California that it's actual 100% olive oil. It's called COOC. It's the California Olive Oil Council, and you want to see that it is certified, okay? So there's also the Olive Oil Commission of California. We like to form commissions and councils. Non-GMO project verified. So it's these little things I look for, okay? That one in particular, COOC, guarantees if it's a California olive oil, that proves that it's 100% olives, okay? And that they're not like rotten olives, which you can like rancid olives. You can sneak into some olive oils and not really taste it, but that's just disgusting. So do that. Then I start to look at prices, and then I'll try some. And if I like the flavor of them, I'll just keep repurchasing it. So I do a lot of Whole Foods organic labeled extra virgin olive oil. It's very inexpensive. It's very inexpensive for a big thing of it. I look at the price per ounce on the labels, right? So in my meal planning class that I'm going to launch, I'm going to talk about how to get the best bargains on these core ingredients that I use all the time, right? TJ's also says LEOT seasoning might be worth an addition. Has it or says it? That'd be good. So sweet potato recipe, page 31 in Vibrant Life. Are you talking about the sheet pan sweet potato hash? I think if it's not on the website yet, it's coming soon, you guys. But buy my book if you would like. I should never tell you guys not to buy my book. Please buy my book. Thank you. Okay, let's do the last recipe, and let's do it in a casual style. I was going to plate it for you, but that's what takes so much time, right? So I got some beautiful things at the farmer's market, and let's tear it up, shall we? I'm going to get a clean towel. Is Connor back in his room, honey? Yeah, he didn't hear about the corn salad. I wanted to show you this watermelon hack. You could absolutely grill the corn for the salad, Prissy. I was saying if you want like more charred flavor, great. When you have fresh corn, I like to just do it on its own. I'm a goofball that way. I used feta in that big salad. I'm going to use it in this salad too. Maybe I'll leave it out though because my kids don't really like it. Did you hear that, Charlie? What? I'm leaving the feta out of the tomato stone fruit salad because I know you guys don't like it. Because I love you that much. I also got some stone fruit besides the watermelon, you guys, because it's in season and so flippin' delicious. So I like to put all of these things together. Here is the secret ingredient and what I'm going to do to it, this red onion, okay? We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about my favorite little OXO tool, this little slicer, right? So it's like a mandolin, but it's a million times safer. It has this guard, so your hand doesn't have to come near the blade. This way. And it doesn't, you can't adjust the thickness of the blade, but for onions, this is my absolute go-to. I've had this thing for so long and it still works. I want these onions really thinly sliced for this, so you don't get this huge in-your-face onion flavor, okay? So let me think about how I want these. I'm gonna cut this onion in half. I'll move this bowl out of the way. And I'm gonna remove the skin, okay? You can cut the end off like that. It's totally fine to do. I'm going to peel this back. Peel back the first layer or two that's more like paper, right? Ricotta salata. Oh, that's a good call. I would use burrata on this. I would use fresh mozzarella, feta, cooked chef's choice, as they say. I am going to slice it this way. You could do it either way, depending on what you like your onion to look like. The most important part, though, is that it's so thin, it just kind of like melts in your mouth. I don't need a ton. You could also really finely mince or dice it, since I'm going to do everything else in like chunks. Ta-da! Pull them apart if they're stuck together at the root. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. If you have time, oops, let me just tell this thing that I don't want to add a new session. Can you guys see that pop up? Yes, I'd be happy to slice one without the mandolin. So here's what I would do if I don't have that little mandolin. You're just thinning it, slicing it as thinly as possible, right? So you want to cut it in half and just, this is where a thinner knife blade works really well. This hollow ground edge actually allows you to make thinner slices, but something like this knife too, it's a thinner blade than a chef's knife. You can actually kind of see the difference between those two. This one's thinner. That can make really nice slices too, okay? So as thin as possible. And if you want to get some of the oniony, like in your face flavor out, soak them in ice water for a little bit, you guys. In fact, I'll do that until we decorate the salad. I'm going to put a couple ice cubes in here. Hey, Connor, the corn salad's ready. You're welcome. I feel like I'm so glad I named this House of Haas because it is truly, you guys get to see my house in real time. Like, I feel like we're settling in together, don't you? You don't see pop-ups. Several Greek friends who recommend Danish feta. It has a great taste. I missed the part about the pop-ups. Are you trying to see if you see the nuts? Is there jicama in the recipe? Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you caught that. I changed the recipe and I forgot to add the jicama. Busted. Okay, I love jicama in this recipe, you guys, because it's got that awesome crunch, right? So watermelon's got crunch, but it's a little bit softer than jicama. Holy cow, that's so hilarious that I put it in there. So here are the combinations you can go for. Watermelon, jicama. I always like tomatoes in it, fresh tomatoes. You can do stone fruits with tomatoes, and I always love the red onion. I always love the mint. You could totally use basil if you like. The jicama just adds a component of crunch that you don't get from the other ingredients. So please use jicama. Regarding the 30 minutes left, or that your meeting time, thank you. See, I'd already forgotten in my head. I'm glad you guys like the format. It's very relaxed, isn't it? But I laugh because you can see my face. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Because I'm just going to put all of this in a bowl, I'm actually going to do the watermelon first. What I wish I bought was a whole watermelon or a half of a watermelon, because there are all these great videos where you cut down into it and then you cut across, and it's like dicing an onion, right? But I'm going to get my longer knife, and I'm still going to kind of do the same thing just to get chunks, okay? That's too big of a chunk. I should be using my cleaver. Okay, there's a million ways you could cut into this, you guys. You could also just like scoop out the whole thing, go around this part with your knife, but you need a flexible knife to do that. This is kind of a good one. It's not as thin as you want it to be to get like all of the fruit off. But watermelon's pretty darn forgiving. So I can just kind of like take the knife out there and then trim the edges off if you get much of the white part. Oopsie daisy. Yep, like I did right there. I'll just come back at it and trim that off, okay? I didn't get this well at all. I came today to go with salmon. Didn't get the jicama. Oh, celery is a great idea. Fennel would be amazing as well. I've used fennel, peaches in this combination a million times. I think that's why I changed it to jicama, because I'm tired of the fennel. But absolutely. Okay, friends, so all I'm trying to do, I actually made this so much harder than it needed to be. I should have just cut it into pieces like that. And then when you have this is a boning knife, but it's flexible. You see that? So it allows you to cut corners. It's going to allow me to go in a circle, kind of like this. See how it's like I can just kind of pull it through. And then we've got a rainbow. Love boning fillet knives, many uses. Yeah, they're great, aren't they, Michael? Okay, so now I'm just going to dice, and I'm going to put all of this into a bowl, like I said, instead of doing a pretty layered presentation. You could even go crazy. If you wanted to do this flat on a plate and thinly slice everything, you could like put the watermelon on this plate and have little thin slices of everything. I'm not going that crazy today. This is going to be so good with the ribs too. Holy cow. I should have people over. It's Sunny's husband's birthday today. So she turned 50 this week. Her husband is a little bit older. Then her mom has a birthday this week, or in 2 days. And her daughter, Lindsay, and my son, Connor, obviously turned 19 last week. So from the 15th to the 25th. Oh, and they have their wedding anniversary in there. Isn't that hilarious? They have like a gazillion holidays. Species, her story of my life. Would love to see that layer on a plate version on IG. Oh yeah. And you know what? I actually have it, a similar version. Is it up on my Instagram? On my website. It was in my last book, The Vibrant Life. I have an heirloom tomato salad that's layered, and it's beautiful. I just cut everything into pieces that look pretty, and then I alternate them, you know. I'll show you how I segment the tomatoes and the stone fruit for it. I just got watermelon on my recipe. Hot. Okay. See how this cutting board is so dang juicy? You can't really tell because it's so dark. And noted that I won't use this cutting board next time. I think it's too dark for you guys to really see the contrast, right? Oh, good. Yeah, you know what? I wanted that recipe to be on the cover. Is it on the cover? You guys, it's right behind me, and I forget these things. It's not on the cover. Let's find it, shall we? Okay, I'm getting warmer. Isn't that pretty? So they layered, and it's really hard to see the stone fruit because they put so much cheese and they put basil on top. The tomatoes are in big slices, and then shaved red onion, and then like segments of the stone fruit. So that's it. So if you have the Vibrant Life, and I'll take a picture of that and I'll post it tonight on Instagram for everyone, okay? Let's add some mint because it's in front of me right now. Thank you, Kasha. Aaron Kunkel, the photographer for my last 2 books, is just wildly talented. Hopefully my next book will be as beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna kind of like fake sharpen out of these. This knife is so sharp, it's cutting my mint beautifully, so it's not bruising it as I go. Hello. You know what's going to be really important on the salad is a little bit of salt. Do I call for it? Let's find out. Flake salt. See? Flake salt. I'm going to have to drag it out of the closet. Charlie, would you guys mind looking to see if you can find the box of Malden sea salt in that cabinet? Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, let's do a little bit of stone fruit because I can. I just want to show you how I cut it. Here's the perfect one. Thanks, Charlie. Oh, I can't wait to show the sea salt. I'm going to go all the way through like that.
Oh, bowl.
Something in there? There isn't much out here, sweetie. Oh, rinse this out.
I'm just saying like behind you maybe.
There's nothing good in there
Oh,
actually
really?
right now. Yeah. We'll just wipe that out and you can use that bowl. So see how I am just cutting through. Now this is, they're either cling stone fruit or free stone fruit. And that just means that either the fruit comes away easily from the stone in the middle, from the pit. So cling stone versus not. This one, these will come off. So look at this. I'm just going to kind of like, actually, and if they don't come off very well, here's what you do. Do this with a smaller knife. You just kind of slowly run it around. Or to be really safe, you guys, don't do that. Just cut those slices through and then bring it back down. And just try to keep your knife close to the pit so you get as much of the slices of peach as possible. I have to eat one. Mm. Mm. That is a white nectarine, and I believe I'm calling it my favorite fruit of the summer.
There's one.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome, honey.
Love.
I love you too. Okay. This is going to be like the most incredible meal tonight. If I don't take a picture, somebody tell me I'm crazy. Tomato. We can dice them. The dicing would be the easier way to eat this in this presentation, but I just want to show you a couple things. So you need a really sharp knife to get big slices. They're so beautiful when you can see everything, right, in these heirloom tomatoes. It's kind of a shame to dice them up, but it would be too hard to eat these in this presentation as slices, right? And they'd get beat up in the salad bowl. So I made this the other night for my friend who came over, and I just thinly sliced everything, and we used a knife with it, and it was great. So, oh my gosh, you guys can't see this. Look at how beautiful already it is, right? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, you know, that's so great that you're interested in food photography. I have a couple friends who are really, really good at it, Michael, that I would love to invite on. My friend Amanda Frederickson. If you don't follow her already, you should. She's amazing. She's out of Nashville now. We used to work together. She's beautiful, does beautiful food styling. So I think I'll invite her on. It's not my forte. I need to learn more. My friend George is a food stylist, and he did my books. Yes, you can leave the heirloom slices whole for sure, KQ, on those versions. So we are going to leave out the feta on this one, or the goat cheese, for my children. I'm going to go back to these scraps and get more out of them when class is over. I'm just going to put them right over here. And then I just want to rinse this off so I don't slip away. And then this is just like so gorgeous, you guys. It's ridiculous. Now, those red onions, remember those little red onions that I soaked? Let's just put a little paper towel down. And we will dry them off a little bit. Now, if you wanted to add a nut to this, you absolutely could. I don't call for one in this, just like I forgot to call for the hikma. I'm going to make Caitlin start grading my recipes or double checking everything for me, because clearly I need it when I'm writing new recipes. And honestly, I'm trying new things for you all. So it's like you're getting the first round of these before they go in my cookbook. So nice catch there, by the way. Would you do pistachios? Yes, I did pistachios actually in the version I think more for the Vibrant Life. They'd be delicious. Pistachios, toasted almonds, pine nuts, macadamia nuts could be good. Ooh, that'd be fun. And then you could do like sesame oil instead of olive oil. Okay, this is going to make these so much tastier. This is a great little hack if you eat red onions on sandwiches too. They just overpower everything less if you let them soak in some ice water for a few minutes before you use them, okay? You guys, as always, our timing is perfect. How is that? We just get her done. I'm about to show you the big reveal, I promise. I just want to get this out of the way, and this out of the way. Oh my gosh, you guys. We're going to add the olive oil, and then I'm going to show you the flakes. Okay. So for this version, you could use like salad spoon and fork to toss it. I'm just going to use my hands again because I want to be really careful with the soft fruits in it. I'm going to add a little bit of kosher salt to mix in, and then I'll show you the flake salt on the top, okay? Just like be really gentle so we're not mushing everything. I like getting the yellow tomatoes. I should have gotten more yellow because it contrasts with the watermelon, right? And then you can see the peach, the white nectarine. I love all those beautiful contrasts. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to taste for seasoning on this just like I would on a regular. This is the perfect like picnic side dish. This is insane. Pam, I would pair this with anything grilled. I would basically serve the corn salad and this salad, and probably if I wanted to do chicken, steak, shrimp, anything off the grill, or if you really don't want to cook, I would do all three of these recipes for a dinner party and serve like a really yummy white wine or like a Sauvignon Blanc or a rosé, or a margarita, my cocktail of choice when I was drinking. They are so delicious together, you guys. It's ridiculous. Let me show you the flake salt. Put it. Is it in front of my face? La 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 la. It's probably directly in front of my face. Molden. Oh, there it is. Hiding behind my big iced tea. Okay, you guys, I'm going to show you how big these flakes are, and then you'll understand. Oh yeah, the barbecue salmon would be perfect with this. Can you see how big these flakes are? Because they're like big hunkin' crystals, right? So they're an ingredient unto themselves. So if you do this, you get this big pow of salt that's just amazing. And if I were serving this as a salad myself, if I were entertaining, I would make sure that I had a bowl that made this look more abundant, right? Like you never want things looking like half eaten when you start, because we eat with our eyes. So like the bigger the better here, right? I'm going to add a little bit more stone fruit to this. But wow, let's take a picture of this too and make everybody jealous on Instagram. And you guys, I'm totally sincere and serious when I say thank you so much for being a part of House of Haas. And if you like it, please share with your friends. I'm loving, if this can become my primary form of work, I want it to be. I think it's just so much fun. And I love hanging out with you guys. It's just so much more relaxing than, it's just fun. It's just absolutely fun. All right, you guys, this one's a rock star dish. Hold on, let's do this one more time. Okay. I'm gonna get the perfect one to show on. Oh yeah, where it's like a little blurry in back. Look at this, you guys. This could be like, this is cookbook worthy practically. Isn't that amazing? So amazing. Connor, one more. Watermelon, nectarines, mint, red onion, a little heirloom tomato. It's going to be so good with your ribs. You're my best taster. It slaps, you guys. That's the highest honor. So, yes, if you're having fun here, I hope you'll spread the word. Feel free to give your friends the code HAASSAUCE, HAASSAUCE, to join so that they get founding member pricing. They won't get mentioned in my next cookbook like you will because you've been here from the start. But they will get the benefits that you get of being here and the great pricing on everything. And I think this is the best bargain in town to get 2 classes a month and get to hang with you all and do what I love. So we have 11 minutes. The code, I'll put it in. You could do it uppercase or lowercase. Oops, I need to move my mouse. And it's just Haas sauce. That's the joke about my chimichurri. So 2 S's in the middle there, you guys. We started calling my green sauces Haas sauce because I make them so much, and they've become pretty much what I'm known for. So Haas sauce. Thank you, Bina. Stay cool if it's possible. When's the weather going to break? Chrissy, I'm glad you made the chopped salad. Enjoy tonight. Any other questions? Tuesday it's supposed to cool down. So, okay, like 60 more hours of this, or 72, huh? Good luck. Anything else, guys? Oh, announcements. I'll pick my winner for the dinnerware. I can't wait to share with all of you. And you get an extra entry just for being here today. And then, oh, Lord, thank you. It's the best part of my day, too. Yeah, let's see who wins this. I'm so excited to give it away. So thank you, Crow Canyon and Amalware. That's kind of in your face, this combination, right? I'll announce my winner in the email that goes out with the replay of this class early next week. Check for my next course announcement. It will come to you in an email. Of course, you guys get first dibs on signing up. I'm going to run it once a quarter, so it's limited in class size so that I can answer everyone's questions. And because I'll have live Q&As to go with it, even though it's a pre-recorded class. Once a week, I'll have a Q&A for 4 weeks because it's 4 weeks worth of an hour each week for people to learn. And the next classes in August we'll send the dates out for them too. We're going to do a Thursday night and a Saturday again. And they're going to be sheet pan meals, some really good ones, thanks to Bina, and then tacos, which I'm so excited about. That's like my favorite thing to make, a million different ways. Never cooling off here in Winter Park, Florida. Betsy, I'm coming that direction in November. I'm so excited for the Foundations of Wellbeing Conference again at the Gasparilla Inn. I'm so excited. It was just an amazing event last year. Fish tacos for sure. We'll do steak, fish, veggie, and then avocado crema. We'll make a couple different salsas for them. It's going to run. So can't wait to see you guys again. Thank you so much always for hanging out. This is where I get bummed because I won't see you guys for like 3 or 4 weeks, right? Unless you join me on my other class and join me on Instagram Live. Bye, everybody. Bye, bye, bye. Connor's yelling, bye. Love you guys. Catch you later. See ya. Oops, I don't want to do that. Cancel. I don't want to cancel the class yet. I always press the wrong button at the end. End broadcast. Okay, here I go. Bye. Stay cool.